Very much match of the stage coming up very shortly here between Invictus Gaming and Elevate. So much on the line, and so much so we decided to get two guys that know what they're talking about. Raven, Manic, always a pleasure. My favorite personal desk to have you guys on chatting along with me. I'll go to you first, Raven. Of course, Sorrowsome at the moment still with the Chiefs, fresh off of their loss, but looking ahead now, a chance for both Elevate and Invictus.
Yeah, look, definitely they've got a great opportunity ahead of them now with the Chiefs getting that L. An outright win is going to book one of these teams a spot at the major. So, look, this is another high-stakes game. It was prefaced just before we went to the break beautifully by you. This is probably the match of the stage right here, and deep rivalry between both these two teams as well.
Let's go and have a look at Invictus Gaming, Rob, and have a bit of a chat about these guys, a bit of a chitter-chatter. They've been amazing all stage long, and this is where we probably expect them to just get the job done, pick up all 3 points, head to the major. They would certainly deserve it. They've had an amazing stage. The only real slip-up came in Playday 5, where they ended up losing to Direwolves. That was the unexpected result. They then lost to the Chiefs, so they're on actually a bit of a losing streak coming into this game, yet still have a chance at that top spot.
What's crazy is the kind of history repeating itself. We were in this exact same position last stage as well. Playday 5, they were up against 7th Heaven. They got their butts handed to them, and then it's happened again this stage. They are now coming down to the final game to determine whether they will go to the major or not. And funnily enough, it's the same team. It is literally the exact same pathway that they had to take. They have fought so hard this stage. They have looked incredible. They went 4 games straight off the back of their major performance, coming into what has been one of the craziest stages. I can't believe I'm even saying that, but it has just been a huge effort from IG to continue this dominance that we saw from 2020. And I mean, what a storyline they've had, you know. Every player on their team in their right moment have really had an impact. So this roster here does, I don't know, I do feel like this is the best that APAC South has to offer.
If Invictus started the stage on a strong foot, Raven, their opponents have been up and down quite literally since Playday 1, where they lost, then won, then lost, then won. Won, lost. And maybe we'll see if they can win here for Playday 7. It is Elevate, a team that, again, similar to Invictus here, if they win, they get all 3 points, they will go straight to the major. There's other ramifications, of course, but this is a team that, for all intensive measures, kind of similar to Knights, they've had a kind of down stage 3 after being a lot better earlier in the year.
Yeah, look, stage 1 for them, fantastic. Stage 2 got a bit shaky. They almost made it to the major, but they lost at the last hurdle against Invictus. And yeah, stage 3, pretty similar to stage 2. But look, I feel like ever since they've brought Nerix in particular, they've just felt like they've started to be on the rise again. So I'm going to say, I feel like they're peaking at the right time here. I have the feeling they might get this upset over IG. I honestly feel like they will. It feels like it'd be very poetic as well. Again, they missed out on November Major just because they lost that BO3 to Invictus. They lost it in the 3rd map. It was a pretty close series overall. So they're certainly going to be out for revenge. And I feel like that probably puts, in a way, like a bigger piece of that motivation kind of in the Elevate camp.
Well, I mean, you say get this upset over Invictus, but Rob, would it be that much of an upset? Are the two teams, you know, that far apart from each other? I kind of feel coming into this match, it's actually pretty even.
I think in stage 3, yes, I would agree. In stage 3, I would say that they're a little bit further apart. I feel like Invictus have looked the better goods. That sounds like a really weird sentence to say, but I do feel like there's been something about Invictus after going to the international event back in, God, I can't even remember when it was now. Was it August? August? There we go. We got there in the August major. I can't really forget that one. They have looked a different breed altogether, and I really think that this matchup in particular, I would definitely be putting Invictus in front of Elevate, but like in that last match, I would have to say that Elevate might look more dangerous here, regardless of who's favored.
Right, so first you said IG, then you're saying Elevate. Basically, you got no idea. Let's go to the map so we can figure out where we are going to be playing out this particular map. Of course, it is going to be Cafe. Raven, I'll go to your thoughts first, since you will know a little bit more than Rob in this manner.
Please.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, look, definitely a bit of a surprise. Not a massive amount of results on Cafe to go by. I don't feel like either team's results really jump out at me. That being said, Yes, third time in a row for Invictus to play Cafe in APAC South. They have not won it in the last two affairs. They got absolutely slapped by Direwolves 3-7, and then they also lost fairly poorly against Chiefs 4-7. So not a great run on this map. Also gives Elevate a lot to go on in terms of prep as well.
Rob, the last, what is this now, 4 matches or so, we've seen 3 cafes from Invictus. Fortunately for them, the last time they played, well, one of the last times they played Elevate was on Cafe, then it ended up winning that. Some mixed results here on this map for IG.
I don't really know how I feel about this, in all honesty. It does seem like this is certainly going to lean in just unfamiliar territory. As much as both teams have played this quite often, you know, Invictus, obviously 4 out of their last 5 games they have played on this. I've not been convinced in Invictus's Cafe yet. That being said, I think Direwolves had a good performance when we saw them play against them, so it's kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't throw that necessarily out the window, but the fact that they then went back to Cafe against Chiefs, I'm not a fan of that. I think that this is a really dangerous place to leave this, especially when you're coming up against Elevate, who, well, I mean, let's just be honest, man. Elevate, it doesn't really matter what day it is, they can really do some damage. We haven't seen them play on Cafe for such a long time, looking back at the results. So this really is so there you go, back at playoffs. This is a huge unknown. And I'll also make a comment as well. The last 2 bans were Bank and Chalet. I mean, I can't believe that we were either about to see Bank or Chalet for the first time for Invictus since they've been picked up.
Crazy. Let's get some final thoughts, final predictions quickly, Raven.
I'm feeling Elevate, honestly. I am. I'm pretty sure I picked IG, but seeing Cafe, I don't know. I actually just feel like this could be an Elevate map. I think it's going to be close. And I tell you what, I actually hope it's OT.
Robert, geez, Jake, sorry, mate. I would definitely have to go with Elevate here. I think the fact that we haven't seen it from them for so long, and Invictus have 4 out of their last 5 VODs on this map, I'm diving headfirst into Elevate. This is a regulation win for them.
I'll keep it a little bit more closer to home. I think Invictus Gaming, since they've played quite a lot of Cafe recently, let's throw it over to the 2 best SI casters in the region, Guz and Dev.
Very humble as always. I'm keen to get into our match of Stage 3. Guz, we've done some predictions. What are you feeling, IG or Elevate?
I don't know what I'm feeling, man. I'm just nervous. I'm so tense right now. We have so many different potential results here. Chiefs are still in with a chance, of course. Invictus could seal the deal. Elevate as well. The map looking so good for them. I just want to jump in the server, dude. I am really, really, really looking forward to this one.
Well, let's jump straight in. It is Cafe for the second last match of APAC South in Stage 3. Invictus Gaming and Elevate, 2 teams with a rivalry as old as time, the best that Southeast Asia has to offer. But only one can go directly to the Sweden Major, and we're about to find out which.
Yeah, just to recap those permutations in case anyone wants to be across them. Invictus, any win for them. 2 points, 3 points, bang. Sweden locked in. Elevate, if they win in regulation, get the full 3 points, they'll secure their position. Where it gets really complicated is if Elevate, when we win, in overtime, they get 2 points, Invictus 1. We could potentially see a 4-way tie for first. Now, all those teams will secure their playoff positions if Q Confirm, again, beat Wildcard in regulation, and we're still trying to get confirmation on what that tie at the top will look like, but this season, or this stage, literally, it cannot get any closer. I know NA, for example, is really tight at the moment, but quite literally, this is just ridiculous how close it has been.
Absolutely. Now Invictus will be looking to run away. If they win this, they go to Sweden, hands down. That is it. If Elevate win an OT, like you said, could be a 4-way tie, could be Chiefs going. But at the moment, a regulation win for either of these teams will get them straight over plane ticket all the way to Sweden. There's the AWP ban phase. Lion taken out by Elevate on top of the Valk. Mav seeming to me to be the main unusual ban out of that veto. Not every day you see a Maverick ban here on Cafe, especially considering Thatcher has actually slipped through.
Yeah, even when Maverick is available and Thatcher's taken off the board, we often do see teams not actually leaning into it all that heavily. So it is quite peculiar to see it taken off the board in response to a Lion ban with Thatcher on the board. we might see the map open up a little bit. Invictus selecting not actually to bring it in this first round, so we'll have to see if that dynamic shifts. I think a lot of that will depend on if Elevate lean heavily into utility. Jaeger and Wamai both on the board, so we could see that be the case, and with the likes of Goyo and Maestro, a lot of that bulletproof utility that is going to be in play. I am keen to see sort of how that dynamic evolves over the course of this match.
For Invictus Gaming, they have made it to the previous major, and they did pretty well for themselves there, but unfortunately they were the only APAC South team that managed to actually attend. Of course, Knights were unable to do so. Elevate just missed out on their spot at the Mexico Major. On the final Playday, they had everything in front of them. They would have made it directly to the Major if they had just beaten IG, but IG stole that from them and then stole it again in the playoffs. Elevate were again one map away from going to Mexico, but unfortunately for them, Invictus had their number. They locked them out. That's why we saw IG head over there, and that's why Elevate have still not managed to go to a major. No Thai team has ever made it to a 6 major. If Elevate win in regulation, they can change that.
There definitely has to be an element of that revenge that is fueling Elevate here. Maybe not only providing motivation, but also added pressure as well. And assuming these teams know the result of the earlier Chiefs match, they know just how important this game is. If Chiefs had have won the last game, this match would be irrelevant for first place at least. It would have been to try and secure their position just in the playoffs, but now the stakes are really high and you get such a big advantage just booking your ticket. You don't need to worry about that playoffs run, and both of these teams will be fighting desperately to finish in top spot.
A lot of pressure on the shoulders of players like Speakeasy, who we know to be so strong, and he proves it. Finding the opening pick for IG. Sapit gone down. That's the pulse, the information, and the C4.
Leaves us in a 5 versus 4 on Agiri. Soon to be under pressure, playing his pixel position, has a Vulcan shield to offer some support, but again, that util is going to be critical. I'm expecting Invictus to drone this out halfway through the round, and you can see it now pinged out. No doubt a couple of nades likely to follow as Invictus establishes foothold.
Great angle here for Hysterics. Nerix on the other side, the newest player at Elevate. Promoted up from the Academy roster. He's going to have to be careful dueling this angle as we see Invictus get to work, destroying that utility and pixel on Agiri, force back. IG starting to tighten the noose.
Still 2 nades in the hands of Hysterics, who can make those work. Good intel as well from Speakeasy over towards the balcony. One of those nades will be cooked. That's Speakeasy, but caught by the ADS device underneath the skylight. Invictus being stalled out a little bit here, and Onigiri will finally get a late trade onto Jordan.
Peel back one layer, but Elevate still have plenty of onion underneath. You can see they've fallen back to the next fortified positions in Backstore, in Freezer, and in Washrooms. With Elevate starting to hold on, it's just going to be a matter of time, and Invictus are the ones that have got to make a move. They start to do so, but DCH holds on and takes down Luna. Only 20 seconds left, and Napew can hold down the fort. Speakeasy marches forth, but shut down, and Elevate can hold on as IG lose that first round.
Good work by Elevate, able to stall out the attack. Invictus feeling the need to try and send it deep, maybe find a pick or two before committing to the plant. Napew though, ready and waiting. That long angle inside of Cocktail, looking all the way down that bar, can be so powerful, even with a 1x as a scope. Really, really well played, and a high pressure round to kick things off.
If you're a Chiefs fan, you're definitely rooting for Elevate this game, but not too much, because you want them to push overtime. Basically, if you're Chiefs, the closer this game is, the happier you are. But if Invictus wins it in overtime, IG will jump ahead of both Elevate and Chiefs and go straight to that major. So if you're a Chiefs fan right now, you're hoping to see an OS rep, and you're pretty gutted about the result of Chiefs not managing to take it. It was in their hands. They couldn't beat Order. You're going to be hoping that Elevate win this in overtime. Now, if you're a fan of either of these teams, you're just hoping that they will win it outright. That will mean direct to the major. There are second chances for all of these teams, provided they make it to the top 4, which, by the way, I don't believe that's actually confirmed yet for Elevate. They could still drop out of the top 4 and not make playoffs.
5 seconds remaining.
Could well be the case. Got to run the extensive simulations in the
Actually, I'm
background.
going to add one layer to that, right? Direwolves won. They got 3 points. They're on 11 right now, tied with Invictus, and they have to head-to-head. Elevate currently in 4th.
Okay.
If they get no points out of this game, then it almost doesn't matter. Like, Q-confirm wildcard, it's almost impossible for Elevate to make playoffs if they don't get a point here.
Yeah. And Invictus, the only scenario in which they do not make playoffs is if Elevate win this game in regulation, and then Q confirm win in regulation up next against
Still possible,
Wildcard.
though.
Any other combination, and they make it in.
And here comes the jump out for Sapper. He finds one. What is going on, though? Luna, far too slow on the trigger finger, not able to save Jordan. And guess what? That is all hard breach gone for IG.
2 minutes left in the round. Red drop here for Invictus Gaming as they look to bounce back. 4 versus 4. Speakeasy, the danger man here for Invictus, clearing some of those Mozzie pests that Onigiri has laid around. Spots one, inside of Mining, hits the shot. That is just how good this guy is. Onigiri is sharp in his own right, but Speakeasy just too good.
Can never count out Speakeasy. Hysterics as well. The other star player for IG. Starting to step up and step into this game. Joe as well, the new blood on IG. He's been doing a pretty strong job, and here he is with spear in hand as IG start to collapse as a player in for EIP. Nerix takes down Speakeasy, and my god, the eruption. It's just back and forth. IG find themselves on top the exchange by 1 player. It's on Napier to clutch with so much time for IG. They can drone him out.
Playing bottom red, this is a very awkward position. There's a very real chance that Napier doesn't get droned. Invictus have plenty of time, but if it gets to a point where they don't find him and give up, it could cost them. 1 drone passes.
Oh no.
2 drones pass. Oh, that second one
No
maybe
way.
caught him. Very close here. Napier gets scared, goes for the wide swing to get that drone, and now needs to hold down the fort.
That must have been a bait. That must have been a bait. But now with the bearing, one of the worst weapons to take these long-range fights, Napier must try to clutch. The flashbang is good. And the nade looks like it may well follow through. Hysterics has to swing this, but IG don't want to take any chances. They don't want to give him the fight. And so they start to plant. Napier dueling the long angle is very, very difficult, but he manages to get back into sight as the diffuser goes down. I don't know where those yokai drones are, but clearly not close by enough. And Napier now has to make this work in the 1v2 retake. He might be in the perfect position for Hysterics, but now Luna, he can maybe make this work. Napier has got to land the shots with the bearing, the shotgun, but Luna with the pistol. Invictus thanking their lucky stars they closed it out. And they do. Invictus finally have a reply.
Such a close end to that round, but Luna, years of experience, one of the most experienced players in the APAC region. He went to the first Invitational. He's almost a dinosaur at this point in esports, but that's the kind of experience you want on a roster. Comes up big. It's a good response from Invictus, and I know it's early days, and I know as casters we just overuse this way too much, but it's really shaping up to be a close game already. I just cannot shake the feeling that this one's going to go right down to the wire.
I'm certainly feeling it. Certainly feeling it. Elevate were so very close to making that work, and I think if there's one thing we can guarantee here, it's that these teams are fighting for trades. They're not going to let any action go unanswered. We saw that in the mid-round there. Elevate threw everything they have got at Invictus, and Invictus threw everything back. Tooth and nail, they traded it out till it was a 1v2 with over a minute to go. Now Elevate are going to go to reading Fireplace. A very, very strong bomb site choice on this map, but let's see if IG can hold firm against this aggression that Elevate is consistently bringing.
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Pretty standard setup here from Elevate. I'm interested to see how much they wish to hold above though. They do have the Aruni to facilitate some of that projectile denial, and again sticking the Goyo, so 2 additional shields will need to be removed here. But as we've seen throughout, Invictus not shying away from grenades. They'll have 6 available in this round. That's a lot to work with, a lot that they can get done. Looks like for the most part they'll go for a standard take, drop down red, and try and expand their territory up above. DCH though in position to deny some of these drones. Misses the first, however, at least 10 still available.
IG start to clear that position now. Ooh, Hysterics, a long angle. 2 floors, DCH goes down. A strong early pick and no opportunity for a trade.
I almost thought that was the grenade. I was a little bit confused.
The timing,
but
hey?
yeah. No doubt a clean shot. Hysterics drops red. Entry point now in towards that piano position. Shots rain out in towards train, as maybe Invictus could use that as an entry point late, but I feel like for now they're still going to commit up above. And here we go, the Sawyer gates coming into play. Napier strategically placing these around in the prep phase to try and mitigate a lot of these projectiles being brought by Invictus.
Hysterics doing some great path finding and also frag finding. Napier goes down. Clearly good information for IG at all times, and they have found themselves a 2-man advantage without really having to push too much. Elevate has been quite aggressive in unsafe positions, and IG has capitalized. Though Hysterics is traded back through the floor, Nerix finds the first one for Elevate. And continuing to be in aggressive positions, Elevate are looking to even up this man count.
I think Nerix may have spotted someone there through the launcher drone hole. Either way, they want to gear out towards Pillar, crosses, and survives. A little bit lucky to do so. May re-peek to go for the kill, but misses the shot there. Taking on Speakeasy again in a 1 versus 1. Doesn't win it out on the second attempt either. Speakeasy just too good, and Invictus with a 2-man advantage.
And the positions are so good as well. Nerix has a fantastic C4 opportunity thanks to Sapper. It does not land, but Sapper follows up with the shotty. 2 on 3 now. IG so close to executing, but time is ticking down. The cross is held, and Speakeasy finds himself the down as Luna pushes on forwards. But Sapper has retaken above. There's no control for IG. If Sapper knows he could go for the shots here, pistol out, he's got to land it. He has the shotgun, and they manage to push him through. Luna finally gets it. Another clutch with the pistol. And IG, another round that went down to the wire, but they get it across the line.
Really close there. But again, Invictus, that experience coming in handy when it matters. A clean execute for the most part. They get the job down. They get the job done, rather, with the diffuser going down. Well played. 2-1 now the scoreline. We rotate over towards Kitchen. I think Elevate have been doing a decent job so far, even when they do find themselves at a disadvantage. And let's be honest, those first 2 picks, the way of Invictus, were free kills. They didn't really have to do much at all. To still be able to bring that back and potentially make a round winnable is a positive sign, albeit you're losing rounds on the scoreboard.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
I gotta say, how good are the drones for IG? It feels like they just always have the read on this aggression. They've always got some kind of info. And it's definitely making it hard. Elevate just getting shut down every time they try and make a play. Now, IG, on their attack, right, they're in a strong position. Statistically, we usually look at Cafe to be a defender-sided map. And as for Stage 3 of APAC South, it is actually a significantly 57% defender-sided map, and that's over, what, nearly 70 rounds. So I'd say it's a pretty strong sample size. You would expect, in general, the defense to be favored in this matchup. That said, both of these teams have quite strong win percentages on their attack. Funnily enough, a 59% win rate on the attack for IG, and a 59 as well. Oh, wait, no, sorry, that's also IG. Let me see if I can find Elevate. 60% on the attack for Elevate. So both of these teams, individually, unusually strong on their attacks.
do think with the bans that are in play, probably only going to facilitate that attacking prowess even more. So wouldn't be surprised if Invictus do get a slight lead here heading into the second half, and Elevate are able to crawl it back. So it's difficult to cast assertions on what's happened so far and what's yet to come, and that's probably the storyline of APAC South. It's almost impossible to predict what's going to happen on any given day. Once again, yeah, Invictus try to take red. Fortunately for them, first drone caught in a Mozzie Pest, Napier as well, causing some disturbance and gaining some info for his team with the Yokai. Able to rotate that off though, so pretty well played there by Elevate.
Quite a nice passive way to contest this roam and try and slow it down. That said, Hysterics is showing no signs of slowing down. Clearly a lot of information ahead of him as he pushes on through, takes control of that entire top floor. IG now get to work on clearing the middle floor. Remember, this is a kitchen and cooking bomb site, so IG likely intending to really take full map control, convert to the vertical game, and then clear VIP as they did previously.
Jordan's been able though to sneak up wide, and there is a player inside of reading. I think it's DCH based on the outline, and surely that clone will confirm it. DCH forced to move. Jordan to get a free kill. A good opener for Invictus.
The strength of the droning continues for IG. Opening pick untraded as well. No answer, no response. Let's Elevate try and play a bit more passive than we've seen from them so far. While they do forfeit that first pick, the onus is now switched onto Invictus to get this vertical game going, find these picks on the players on site. Dismantling those Yokais will certainly help though. But time is the enemy here.
30 precious seconds remain here for Invictus, and only now are they establishing vertical control. Hysterics looking to maybe find something with the grenade, but he is unlikely to find his mark. 20 seconds left now, and a Geary kicks things off for Elevate as that execute comes through slowly but surely.
And this is such a strong position for Sapper. Napier as well, starting to move up, but he's taken down. This could all come down to Sapper. In the 2v3, Nerix has survived on site. Joe sees him. Nerix has to clutch in the 1 versus 3, but Joe, the newest member to IG, comes up massively and locks it down, locks it in. That's 3 rounds straight for IG.
Invictus are looking too good late round. Very difficult to shut down. Elevator being forced into really uncomfortable positions, and particularly at the man advantage, Invictus playing so well into that. It's a really great balance between playing calculated and safe and ensuring that you get the round done, but also not cowering away and not being too safe in the late round. Elevate the perfect example of a team that late round can pull off rat plays and go for aggression and try and pull something off and sneak a round away. So at the moment, they're just doing a really good job in taming that. And we know, again, statistically, both of these teams great on cafe attacks, but at the moment, it really does feel like Invictus are starting to run away with this just a little bit.
An exciting prospect for IG, knowing that they could lock in their Sweden chances right now. Now, this is something we were talking about before the day, but with the broadcast not really being a broadcast, would IG even know at this moment that winning this game would confirm them? Because they may well have assumed at the start of the day, like all of us did, that Chiefs were going to take down Order and lock in that Sweden spot. But it looks like IG have the chance to do it for themselves. Do they even know that at this point? I wonder.
Well, that's the interesting dynamic, right? We saw it last night, I believe it was, or a couple of nights ago, whenever the APAC North broadcast exactly was. Guts Gaming were in a pretty comparable position, and they knew heading into their matchup, most likely, that they needed to win. They then crippled under the pressure, they couldn't perform, and Mantis will be very thankful for that, as they now have secured their spot to Sweden. And yeah, I wonder the same here. Both of these teams would have the ability, if they wanted to not know the result. Just don't check your social media. Match isn't currently being streamed, so you don't have to worry too much about that. But I think if you wanted to make the conscious decision not to know the result, you could have done that. And honestly, at least from my personal point of view, that's probably what I would want, right? You don't want any outside factors impacting your performance. Just play the game as it presents itself. Go for the win like you always would, and don't let any of those other factors influence your performance and add another layer of pressure that may not be needed.
I gotta say, in particular, Elevate are a team that have crumbled under pressure before, right? You know, in stage 1, when there was no major to fight for, they fought hard and they played so well. They played like they didn't have any pressure. They even took down Cloud9, the APAC North stage champions, and became the best team in APAC in stage 1, but there was no major to go to. Come stage 2, Elevate have in their own hands the spot for Mexico Major, and Onigiri finds that kill. I'm going to continue my point though, as the refrag is likely to come out. Great cutoff from IG as they cut me off as well. I'm going to finish my point regardless. Elevate historically struggle under pressure. When the pressure was on in stage 2, when they had the Mexico Major in their grasp, they fell to IG. In the playoffs, they fell to IG, and still Elevate have never been to a global event.
Yeah, and in my opinion, Elevate look at their worst when they try and play more passive. And what do some teams tend to do when they're under the pump? They play ultra passive. It doesn't suit their play style. It's unnatural. It's uncomfortable. So I'm liking what we saw there. Onigiri was a good example. Like, just do the Elevate way, go for something a little bit wild. Yes, you got traded, but you at least disrupted that attack early. You took Hysterics off the board, who's a great fragger, and that's 2 frag grenades as well, expelled. So I like that from Elevate. Bring more of that to the table. Try and make Invictus feel uncomfortable, because on the flip side, Invictus are a team that has the experience. They thrive under the pressure. For them, this is just another game of Siege.
Yeah, but we've seen IG look far from that experienced team. Similar to Knights, they don't always play at their skill ceiling. And now Napew. He's firing an aggressive spot, but IG is too aware, and they shut it down. 25 on the clock as IG have the man advantage, but they've got to find the execute. Last time it was Napew who hosed down this side execute. This time, IG have taken him down as Sapper holds on with the long angle on the SMG-11. No gas babes left for the defense, and it looks like it won't even matter. IG forcing that plan down and forcing Elevate out of this contention. IG 4 rounds straight. They are looking so hot on Cafe.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned it before, Dev, but I think that round in particular has really brought it to the forefront of my mind as well. It's the drone play from Invictus. At the very least, it's incredible game awareness and match awareness. They seemingly just know where every single swing is coming from, every angle that they need to cut off. And we even saw there in the final kill cam a red ping on the map, which basically confirms that they have at least 1, maybe 2, even 3 really well-placed drones to know exactly what Elevate are doing late round. And they're running away with it at this point. I thought that when we were at that 2-1 scoreline, things were looking pretty tight. But just this late round prowess from Invictus is completely unmatched at the moment. They're in a whole nother league. They're doing such a great job here, and they're only inching closer and closer to that spot straight to Sweden. In fact, they're basically 2 rounds away from at least securing OT at the very, very least, which would be a huge leap towards that goal.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Remember, the only chance that we have for Chiefs is that if Elevate win in overtime, Chiefs are in for a shot with the tiebreaker, as will IG, Elevate, and potentially even Q confirm. If QC go ahead and beat Wildcard for 3 points, there's a chance we'll have a 4-way tie on 12. In which case, I mean, we've got the admins on the case. We don't have any confirmation yet. Look, it's quite a complicated...
Just scroll up, Dev. Scroll up.
Oh, did they confirm? What did they say? If this mini league happens... Oh my gosh. So it should be Chiefs, right?
Yeah, Chiefs. Because
Should be Chiefs, and then Elevate, and then IG, and then QC. Presuming that if Elevate win this in overtime, and QC win in regulation, that will be the final playoff standings, and the Sweden spot will go to Chiefs. Looking unlikely at this time.
Or if you're watching this, probably already know anyway.
That's a great point, but I mean...
But maybe you don't. Maybe you kept yourself in the dark. And then this is very exciting, which it is for us at the moment.
It's exciting for us, yeah, I'll say that.
And I've no doubt, honestly, even if you know the result,
I mean, back in the day when
it's still exciting.
When I used to watch, I started watching R6 Esports on the YouTube VODs. I didn't watch the live streams. You know, I was watching, I think I started like after season 3 had ended in year 1, and I was watching VODs that were a couple months old. And like, I didn't know what was going to happen, so it was exciting for me. So if you're watching this, you don't know what's going to happen, this is a 2 thumbs up from the Dev Mata.
Minute 50 left in this round. Invictus, 1 attack remaining. Can they extend this lead 5-1? Again, late round, their executes. Chef's kiss. They have been incredible to watch. and Elevate, unfortunately for the Thai fans around Southeast Asia, have been struggling. Haven't looked comfortable at all. But maybe this could be the turning point. Still a minute 30 left. Invictus actually applying quite a bit of pressure here. Over towards Cocktail on the rappel. Bit of a switch up here. Speak easy. Going 9 and 2, tasked with this role. How many more can he find?
This is an east push for sure here for IG, but they're not clearing vertically. They're looking to clear straight from the window. Sapper goes very, very low and finished off from the nade. But their trade is direct, and Onigiri finds his mark. IG, this is a risky attack. They're trying to go straight for Cocktail, but the repel-in could be deadly, and the chance for a retake is very high for Elevate.
Yeah, I think Invictus have really adopted the mantra that they need to not allow Elevate to feel comfortable. One step towards achieving that is let's switch up our attacking pattern. Elevate probably anticipating a similar attack to last time and probably could have adjusted to shut that down. But now, particularly with these Cocktail repels making life difficult and shields like that being taken down, this is going to be very, very tough still.
30 seconds on the clock, and still Napew has survived in Cocktail. The repel-in is right now, and Napew holds the line. Elevate collapse as IG try to swing in. They can't make the half theirs. Not that 5-1. It is a 4-2 split.
Just when it feels like Invictus are running away with it, they switch up their attacking pattern and Elevate look comfortable again in that late round phase. They pulled it off. Invictus forced to send it. Elevate ready and waiting with open arms. And if the stats are right, if the stats play out as we may expect in this matchup and Elevate are stronger on their attack, they could pull this one back. That keeps their dream alive of going straight to Sweden. It also keeps the dream alive for the Chiefs as well. I am super keen to see if Elevate can maintain a little bit of this momentum they've now built and show some of that composure on their attack.
And while 4-2 is the average scoreline in APAC South Stage 3 for the defense on Cafe, which would suggest that IG is doing really well, 4-2 is the average attack scoreline for both of these teams. So while Cafe well, I mean, that's not actually true. They win 60% of their attacks, which is slightly different. Basically, both of these teams punch above their weight on their attacks. Both of these teams punch above their weight when it comes to that attacking side. So IG, while they should be very, very happy with themselves right now, looking at the stats and looking at what they've achieved, Elevate should know that they're very, very capable of getting 4 of their own, pushing overtime. Even a 5-1 would not be unreasonable here to expect for Elevate.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Shotgun in the hand of Nerix. Supernova on the Habana. So keen to see how exactly that one will play out. Could offer some different opportunities. Extension here from Invictus inside of shop. The Castle and Aruni combo alongside the Jaeger. Napew prepped and ready to maybe go for the rush. But there's a castle barricade that's going to stall that progress. Maybe Sapper can come along with a Gon 6 to facilitate something a little bit crazy to kick off the attack.
But this is something that Elevate have loved to do for a long time. So Invictus should be very aware of that. Speakeasy finds the opener on Onigiri down and out. What is this shotgun Hibana? Oh my god. Elevate love that bloody Supernova shotgun for some reason. They just love it. They bring it on Echo, bring it on Hibana. Like, mate, show me that you can frag with the bearing.
Also playing on the Skylight, so maybe we'll see Nerix drop down, get aggressive. Oh, here it is.
And Napew sends his way in. They have no idea the flashbang was great. And Joe cut down, cut out. Cocktail control for Elevate, and they spiral. Invictus are falling to pieces.
Oh my god.
And further, there's the bearing 9 coming to life. Nerix, he did it, and now Napew holds down the 2 players funneling up from White Stairs. But it looks like it may be the end of it. Elevate, what a rush.
Woo! Elevate, they're not mucking around. You mentioned it, Dev. They love to go for that push with the Amaru. They facilitated it so nicely. The flashbang, I have no doubt, masked the sound. Invictus had no idea what was coming until they were dead on the ground. So well played. Both players isolated White Stairs. Retaking that, impossible. Unless Elevate absolutely threw, but they were composed. they looked really comfortable. And that's a great way to kick things off.
That it is. We're seeing it. We had the stats. We knew that Elevate could really best the average when it came to the attacking side, but now we've seen it in fruition. Did I hear right? Is that a tactical pause for IG? They lose their first defense and they take attack.
That's very, very interesting. Now, if this tactical doesn't serve as an effective way to stall the momentum that Elevate are now building, and in fact, maybe Elevate win the next round, maybe even the round after that, then Invictus do not have that buffer. They cannot take any moment, they can't take another tactical rather, to try and stall it again. So this is a really big call. But we do see really experienced teams time and time again often make that tactical call at the right time. But I guess the question will be, is their foresight right on this occasion? Because I'm sure in a couple of rounds with hindsight, we're going to look back at this moment, we're going to praise IG, or we're going to really, really question this decision.
They don't find a win on the back of this. If Elevate can tie up the scoreline and essentially nullify Invictus's tactical timeout, that's got to be massive. And I've got to say, if that happens, Elevate have got to be in my good books. They'll have the momentum back on their side, and they will have crushed Invictus's attempt at bouncing back, and their only tactical timeout they will have this map. Remember, Elevate still have theirs in the back pocket should they need it.
I do wonder at what point in time will Elevate trigger it. I assume maybe if they lose this round, because I feel like getting that 6 point on the scoreboard, at least occurring overtime, it's critical in every matchup, but this one in particular with the stakes being so high, really, really important. Of course, we know if Invictus managed to win this game in regulation or in overtime, bang, they secure that spot to the major. So there's no room for error here. They cannot slip up. It's just such a close matchup, man. I am really starting to get nervous. Round number 8 now. Go over, reading, and dining the extension up above here. We're seeing again the Goyo in play here from the defense. Quite heavy in the util department from both teams so far.
Elevate, let's see if you've got it. Let's see if you can do it. Let's see if you can slap Invictus right back after they took a 4-2 against you. Looks like it's a map clear all the way down from the top. Let's see what IG are going to do about it. They're the ones holding on, down on reading with an extended setup upstairs.
Activating surge!
But the surge comes out. Finkit now on meta, always has been, always will. For teams like Elevate from the Thai region. Let's see now that they're on the attack here onto reading. Can they deal with this more advanced defense setup?
Yeah, can't help but feel that maybe Elevate weren't too displeased with the Finka buff as they were rocking it prior to her even having the frag grenades, which has, as you mentioned, sort of seen a bit of a transition. Globally, we're seeing Finka played quite a bit, which is awesome to see. How much of an effect, though, will it have on this round? 4 nades total, and lots of util to clear over towards Cocktail. Some of that, though, will need to be burnt. ADS devices, for example, should soak up some of the flashbangs available from the likes of Nerix and Onigiri. Napier as well can dump util as well. This is a pretty common setup. We see this time and time again. It comes down to which team can execute the finer details better.
Good util clear though, and it looks like IG are feeling the pressure as the stun goes through as well. Luna, oh, just on the cusp, full flashed, and Onigiri, he can shut him down, or can he? Finally lands it, Onigiri! My God, the pressure he must be feeling, but IG are picked to pieces. There's nothing left, but Jordan can salvage the C4. This doesn't look too bad for them. 3 on 4 now. As Elevate, they have this top control, but IG are holding on.
Speakeasy is the linchpin. If Elevate drop down, go Pillars, go for a default plan. He's ready and waiting with open arms, but Jordan elsewhere. He falls. Hysterics and Speakeasy. These two are capable of clutching this round, and the stakes have never been higher. This is so critical. Look how open the site is, though. If Elevate go for default, how can they deny it?
Oh! Speakeasy! And now it's on Hysterics as well, deep in sight. Diana knows exactly where he is, and he's shut down.
10 seconds
It's
left.
on the man
Attackers
himself.
have located
Who
a
else
bomb.
could it be? No C4 for Speakeasy. 1v3. He can't even land that one. And Elevate can, on the back of IG's tactical timeout, put them back down in the dirt. 4-4.
You said it, Dev. 4-4. And again, Invictus use their tactical. There's no stopping the momentum from here unless you get a round win on the board. Whew. This is crazy. I can't believe that the stats are right, man. The stats are right. Both of these teams on the attack have just been looking amazing, both putting on clinics. And just like that, it feels like it wasn't long ago we were starting to write Invictus down for the major, but now Elevate, they have well and truly bounced back. The last 2 rounds have applied so much pressure
need to locate and
onto their
defuse bomb.
opponents. And this is what we didn't see in stage 2, remember, Dev? It was a very similar situation. Elevate needed to beat Invictus and they capitulated. 7-5 on Consulate. Invictus got that win. Elevate will not want to repeat that. They are looking to get that revenge.
And I mean, they are so capable, aren't they? They've just really took Invictus down a notch by shutting them down on the back of their own tac pause. IG have got a lot of questions to ask. After going 4-2 on their attack, nearly a 5-1, if we're honest. If IG let it slip through their fingers
Attackers
now,
are moving out to
they
locate
will
a bomb
be
and defuse it.
so gutted, sucker punched by their longtime rivals of Elevate. What a narrative, what an opportunity for Elevate to redeem themselves after, let's be honest, a shocking stage 3. Stage champions in stage 1. In stage 2, they fell over at the final hurdle. Stage 3, they're on the straight now. It's all in front of them. A regulation win means Elevate will go to the 6th major in Sweden. And it's right before them.
Drone activated.
And just to carry on from that analogy, I guess, they're coming onto the final straight. Imagine this was a sprint. And sure, they're neck and neck, but Elevate, they're moving at a faster speed right now. If they continue this momentum, they are going to get ahead of Invictus and they will not look back. They will be so close to at least securing overtime. If Elevate get to 6 points, that denies the ability for Invictus to finish first tonight. That's just how incredibly close it is. And again, it keeps that window open potentially for the Chiefs as well. 3 teams fighting it out for first. You don't hear that every day. And that is why APAC
Bomb
South is
located by
just
attackers.
such an incredibly competitive league. Heading into this round though, minute 40 left on the board. Elevate, they've done their usual progress. Control now of Whitehall looking to be established here by Onigiri, who'll drone forward. I'm liking this from Elevate. Take your time. Make calculated decisions.
Minute and a half. It looks like IG are just waiting. They don't want to forfeit anything to Elevate. I think that's the right choice here. Reading and Fireplace is an objective where they can just wait for now. Bit of a fluff stun, but here comes the other and another as the drone is set forth as well. Elevate, they're struggling here. They're stalling out on clearing Cocktail, on clearing Top White, and IG still retain that control.
Napier's just lurking around. Nerix elsewhere finds one. Napier gets one. He got the kill. 3 versus 5. Onigiri goes big as well. Speakeasy and Jordan under the pump. It's a 1 versus 5. This could be flawless for Elevate. It's almost certain at this point that it will be. Onigiri is down. Nitro Cell won't find anything. Speakeasy tries to make his way up Brown. He does drop the diffuser. That could stall out Elevate. Surely they don't win it from here.
No way. Don't you dare.
Gets another. There's no way. There is absolutely no way.
No! How dare you! Surely this is not the 1v5 for Speakeasy. There's 15 seconds on the goddamn clock. Elevate. He's right in front of you. And he's just waiting to crush your dreams. They're gonna go for the kill. And they get it. Thank God. Whatever you pray to, pray that Speakeasy loses that. Elevate, take the lead.
Speakeasy just like first position itself, within arm's reach. Within arm's reach, almost clutches it out, almost produces probably one of the best clutches you have ever seen. So dangerously close, but Elevate, they get it over the line. 1 round away from denying first place from Invictus, putting fate into their own hands. And these attacks have just been so good. At this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that Elevate get this across the line pretty cleanly from here. They deserve it. These attacks have been great. They're really doing a good job in just lurking, finding kills, and manipulating their opponents. This has just been one hell of a game so far, though.
And there's still a lot of gas left in the tank here, especially for Elevate. I mean, IG, they lose their opening defense, take their tactical pause, lose it. On the back of that, they go to reading fireplay, they lose that. And then they go again and lose again. And suddenly they're staring down the barrel. Elevate one more round and they guarantee OT. Now, an Elevate overtime doesn't mean much for IG. If IG win it in OT, they still go to the major. But if Elevate win in regulation, that major spot is theirs. If Elevate win, but it's in overtime, Chiefs are the one who go to Sweden.
I don't think I have ever, I've definitely never casted, I don't think I've ever watched a conclusion to a league this close. We're at the second last game of the entire stage, and we're still having multiple different conclusions just for first place alone, never mind the potential implications for seeding, playoffs, etc. Still a lot to play out here. 2 minutes 20 though, left in this round. Elevate on their openers have been so clean. They've been getting relatively quick map control, sneaking and finding a pick or two early and playing off that advantage. They'll be looking to do the same once again. Put your, I guess, Invictus hat on though. What do you do now? Do you play in your shell, play super passive, don't give away anything for free, or do you try and get in the face of your opponents and get the opening kill for yourself? That's the kind of mental battle, strategical battle they're going to be playing amongst themselves for the remainder of this map.
Droned out Speakeasy and forced back. This is downstairs in kitchen for the defense. That lurk, that roam from Invictus. Not necessarily confronted head on by Elevate. They're looking to slowly pressure these roamers, but IG are not aggressing. They're not willing to lose that early man advantage. They might anyway. DCH has a strong cutoff here. And before too long, Speakeasy will find himself caught between a rock and a hard place. DCH is watching the line, but I think Speakeasy knows it. Speakeasy's got the game sense. He's not exposing himself to the angle once again, trying to bait the shots. And now he knows for sure his retreat has been cut off. Spinny finds one, the trade comes through. Elevate, stay on top of it, but Speakeasy, 9 rounds in, has 15 kills. He is not giving up.
45 seconds now left. Elevate need to accelerate this process. Napier on red stairs does have a good cross, but I don't think Elevate have much vertical pressure going for them at the moment. Still a player inside of prep for the side of the defense and players deep in sight. VIP as well. Jordan needs to hold on for as long as possible. 30 seconds left.
Oh, Jordan, he's got it right in front of him, but the trade again. These teams are neck and neck, back and forth. You can't call it until it's over. But Luna's gone down. 3 on 2 now for the tie as they march one step closer. Right before them is the match point. It's right at their fingertips. And Elevate just need to cover this defuse play. What a save for! It's all on Napier. 1-on-1, no time. Invictus tired once again. 5 rounds apiece.
That single C4 has just saved Invictus's chances of finishing first. Again, if Elevate have got that across the line, and from where they were, they probably should have. They would have denied that from Invictus, but no. 5-5, now the scoreline. The tactical from Elevate is just gonna draw out this tension a little bit more. Whoever wins this next round is in pole position to go to Sweden. This is the biggest round either of these teams have played all stage. maybe even all year as well. But this, again, flashbacks to stage 2. 7-5 was the scoreline in that matchup as well, where Invictus denied Elevate. And the script is just in front of us right now. Elevate, off the back of this tactical, could do the same in return.
Massive chance here for IG. If they win this next round, Elevate can't go to Sweden, not through that direct #1 spot. IG can win it in regulation, they can win it in overtime, doesn't matter, as long as the end of the day, IG come out on top, they will go to Sweden. If Elevate win in regulation, they go there. But if they drop another round in this entire game, then Elevate cannot finish first in APAC South. Even if Elevate win it in overtime, they don't go, Chiefs does. So there's so much pressure on this round right here, especially for Elevate.
Yeah, even I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Elevate need to still get this over the line. Getting it to OT isn't quite enough for them, but...
I mean,
trying to track all these permutations and the pressure is just...
Mate, the percentages and the numbers, like that GIF where you've got all the numbers. It's like the Matrix is running right before your eyes, and all you can see is it's reflected in your pupils.
Yeah. The GIF I'm thinking of is the dog sitting in the house on fire. That's just that's how I'm feeling at the moment. God, it's just been one hell of a stage so far. And
guess what? Invictus, right here with breakpoint before the match point on the cards. They 6-pick onto the clash. Lunar Metal on a shield in a dire situation. That is about as iconic as it gets for this team.
Lunar Clash. Name a more iconic duo in APAC Siege. You'd be hard-pressed. But it's not the Clash, it's the Monty. The man is just so strong in that leadership position. He doesn't post the biggest numbers. That's not his job for this roster. He is the rock of Invictus. As I mentioned earlier, he went to the first ever Invitational. So much experience in that head of his.
If you want to talk numbers though for a second, talk about fraggers, right? Speakeasy has as many kills as the next 3 players on his team combined.
Yep.
15 kills in 10 rounds. 1.5 kills per round on average. The multi-kills from this man are untenable, and he always finds a pick. He never dies without one. He always drags someone down with him.
Yeah.
And if IG win this round, then they drag Elevate down. No matter what the result at that point, Elevate can't make it to Sweden, not through the direct invite.
So I'm just going to say, heading into this Playday, Speakeasy, a plus 29 KD. Only bested by Ethan from the Chiefs on 30. Chiefs. Speakeasy has just been posting insane numbers now. All year, he has been right at the very, very top. He's been, some may say, at the pinnacle of APAC South. What can he show in this round, though? Teamed up with Luna inside of washrooms, trying to prevent that white hall rotation from being covered on the rappel. He'll fall back towards backstore. Safe and calculated here from Invictus. No one playing that pixel position. Elevate, that gives them free reign on this side of the map. But Luna is in their face a little bit. Nades to follow, flashbangs as well. Speakeasy, he was taken so low. But critically, he survives.
Oh, what? Hello? Where did you come from? Onigiri! He gets taken out, but he does down the Clash in the process. First blood has been drawn, and it looks like IG may be about to put Elevate's hopes and dreams to bed. 3 on 4, but look at the health on these IG players. 2 of them solo. Elevate have got to win this.
That drone at White Hall. What can that find? Oh, that's backstore spotted. That Speakeasy one shot. Jordan as well. A single bullet will take him down too. Yes, it's a 4 versus 3, but this is going to be such a close finish to round 11.
Still a play repelling for Elevate. How are they going to make this work? With such a low man count still up on the cards, they need to nail some shots, and they need to do it right now. Less than 30 seconds. Time is ticking down. It is getting dangerous. Hysterics might be going downstairs looking for the run out, but all of Elevate is in the building and ready to lock this in. 2 players left for IG. Hysterics still standing. Jordan looking to deny this plan. Hysterics has got one. Jordan, he gets the double. Invictus, they crush Elevate's hopes and dreams. They take the match points and they are 1 round from Sweden.
What a finish to that round. So low on HP, but they still pull it off. Elevate not having those crosses held effectively, crumbling under the pressure, and just like their opponents, they lose the round that follows the tactical. 6-5 now the scoreline. Elevate, do or die for first place. They have to win this round. They need to try. In fact,
nope, there's no chance now.
Yeah.
Elevate cannot make it to Sweden through the direct invite.
That's crazy.
At the moment right now, I don't believe Elevate's even locked for playoffs. Elevate could be locked out. At the moment, they sit below Direwolves on the standings. The current standings as they sit, counting the 1 point Invictus has earned from this game, is Chiefs on 12, Invictus also on 12, just under them, Direwolves on 11, and then Elevate on 10, just outside a playoffs position. If Elevate lose this round, they don't go to playoffs. Elevate are fighting for the playoffs. They need at least 1 point out of this match to jump over Direwolves. And even then, it'll come down the head-to-head. Who's got... Elevate has the head-to-head. Elevate lose this in overtime, and they still make playoffs.
If Elevate lose this game, it goes to a head-to-head if Wildcard win in overtime or if Wildcard win in regulation. Now, I don't know exactly if Elevate will make it through based on the round differential from there, but any other result in that next upcoming game, if Elevate lose, they don't make it.
And what we know for certain is that, I mean, if Elevate lose this round, they can't make the major. They won't go to playoffs. They get no more SI points. If IG get this right now, or win this match at all, they go straight to the major. But that #1 spot in APAC South is no longer a toss-up between IG and Elevate. It's a toss-up between IG and Chiefs. If Elevate win this match, Chiefs will go to Sweden.
Elevate find themselves 11th currently in the SI point standing. Top 16 make it through, 4 from the open quals.
Oh,
Speakeasy doesn't blow that Nitro cell. If he does, I think
that
he
should
finds
be
a
it.
kill. Napier needs to be careful. You can hear it just tickering in the background, but he hasn't blown it yet.
Onigiri takes down Joe. Elevator so close to pushing for overtime. Remember, they need to win this round for a shot in at playoffs, and it looks like they're gonna do it, Guz. It looks like overtime is on the cards. Elevate can play it patient. They know they have the advantage with still half the round yet to go. On this reading defense, IG are feeling that pressure more than ever.
If you are a Chiefs fan right now, you are in the corner of Elevate 100%. Onigiri shuts down the danger man. I was going to say, with Speakeasy still alive, nothing is a certainty. But surely from here, with 60 seconds to go, Elevate can compose themselves. 5 drones still available. Find where these 2 remaining defenders are and crush them. Send this to overtime. That is the goal.
Silence in the dying 40 seconds of this round, and what could be the final moments of this match. IG still hold firm, no longer a 2v5. Hysterics and Jordan to hold on. They've done it before. They did it just last round. They won a 2 versus 4. And Elevate, time is ticking. The pressure is mounting. Where are they? They need to come forward and they need to step up now. The double! Overtime is on the cards. Elevate are not down yet.
Round 13. This game is going to go the distance. Elevate cannot finish first, but they have potential to deny it from Invictus. If Elevate, just to reiterate, if Elevate win this in overtime, the Chiefs will somehow manage to still finish first. Ridiculous. But Invictus, they are hot on their heels. If they get it over the line, they jump them. This is just such a ridiculous storyline. Invictus with attack. Statistically, the favored
Attackers
side.
need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Massive boon here for IG. Both of these teams went 4-2 on their attacks. And now IG have it in the overtime. Elevate now can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm honest, guys. I know we're sitting here running all the numbers. I don't think either of these teams are. So I don't think Elevate is conscious right now that they have just locked themselves in to playoffs. Even if they don't get another point, they're on 11 right now, tied with Dire Wolves, who they have the head-to-head against. The only teams that could jump over Elevate right now are, well, firstly, IG. Chiefs is already above them, and only one of Q-Confirm and Wildcard. That means the worst Elevate can do from here on out is 4, which means they will go to the APAC playoffs. No chance at Elevate finishing first in APAC South and going to Sweden. Their fate, bar seeding, is locked. Invictus have everything to fight for right now, and Chiefs have every reason to hope that Elevate win this.
Drone up and running.
It's just wild. I cannot believe.
Wait a second. Xenox has just reminded me of something. There's a chance Invictus might not be locked for playoffs.
Invictus needed Direwolves to win, that happened. Order to win, that happened. Elevate needed to win in regulation though, so it's not going to happen. If Elevate won in regulation, QC in regulation, that would be the case, but Invictus are safe.
Wait, do IG have the head-to-head against QC?
According to the
They do.
yes.
Okay, so IG are locked for playoffs.
Yep.
Both of these teams are locked into playoffs. But Invictus can still go straight to Sweden if they win in overtime right here.
Onigiri in Cigar Lounge. Trying to find that player on the upside down rappel. Can't find it. Smart though. Can't find the second either. Jordan on the Habana on the entry. What a strong player he has been so far, and a strong opening here for Invictus. Looking to put the foot down again for both teams. Attack is statistically favored, and we saw that play out in regulation.
There's plenty of time for IG to work it as well. They should go to match point in this round. Bit of tick damage from the Evil Eye, but it's not going to matter when Fink is on the board. That Evil Eye has now been dispatched. IG have a serious chance right here, right now, as they burn these gates, but that's huge from Napu in the aggressive position, and now he falls back. A spanner in the works, but shut down. IG have it once again in their palm.
DCH down below as well. That leaves 2 on site up above. DCH will need to go for something ridiculous on this flank. Sapper now under the pump. As Invictus take their time, drone out these remaining defenders, gain that lead, gain that advantage.
25 seconds, IG have the man advantage, but there's still 3 gas beads. How is that possible? Nerex can burn through all of the time left as long as he throws them. And Speakeasy, once again, 18 kills. He sends it on through. Luna shut down, 2 on 3, but now Sapper is the last man. It's just him versus Joe and Speakeasy, the C4 blind. No clue, no hope. IG match point once again. 1 round away from Sweden once again.
That C4, that could have been stage changing. If that got thrown just a fraction to the left to deny that trash plant, who knows? That could have been a very, very different outcome. But Invictus now with that lead, they head on to the defense. statistically the unfavored side now. If they get it across the line here, it would be incredible, but I have a feeling Elevate might be able to give one blow back. Again, it was such a nail-biting round. Went down to the final seconds, and Elevate will be looking to replicate that prowess now, as Invictus have elected to go above as well.
This is one of only 2 bomb sites that IG was able to win on their defense, but they didn't win it on their first attempt. They lost it. They only won it re-attempted 4 rounds later.
Attackers have located a bomb.
So every chance here that Elevate could make this happen. I will add, that was a close round. It was when IG brought the clash, which they're not bringing this time around. They've changed their strategy once again. They're bringing the castle, which we didn't see from them last time. IG digging deep, rummaging through the strat book to scrap anything they think could get them across the line. They win this round or the next round, and they go to Sweden. They don't have to play the playoffs. There is no doubt that is everything that they have been wanting all stage long, through thick and thin, to go back to the major and have another chance to prove themselves on the world stage.
Yeah, really potent lineup here from Invictus. I would argue that's probably one of, if not the most util-intensive lineups you can bring in the current meta. 2 projectile. Oh, I thought Napier was going to go there. 2 projectile denials. You have the Walmart, you have the Jaeger. You also have the Arunian combination as well. Mute's going to deny some of the information, and then Castle's going to soak up even more of that utility on top of everything else as well. Now, that's a playstyle that may leave Elevate a little bit exposed and vulnerable, maybe not particularly comfortable. So I'm excited to see how they're going to battle this once they drone it out and they get a feel for what they're going to be up against. How will they try and take it down?
Deep breath. IG hold on. They fall back. They look to play vertically. They look to forfeit ground and force Elevate to whittle down the timer, and that they have done. Look at the time. Almost half the round gone. Elevate haven't even begun to clear piano. Do they even intend to?
Impact out!
Speakeasy. Ooh.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Interesting. Clearing the gate, but he can't destroy the castle barricade yet because the gate was there.
Oh.
The second nade goes through, but the timing is not quite there for
Surely
him.
gets swung.
Oh! Oh! Anagiri! Speakeasy down, the man on 19 kills. He was about to pop 20, but he looked away. Hysterics surely finds it on the flank, and now he doesn't push it, but Elevate have to watch it. They might be able to push deep here, and they do. There's only 2 left. Joe's the only man on site as Hysterics has to leg it, and he has to leg it now. Elevate are about to push us all the way to round number 15 if they can lock it in. If Joe and Hysterics can once again clutch up against Elevate, they will go to the major. Otherwise, Elevate will hold on. 40 seconds left on the clock. Elevate, you have the time. Use it. 3 on 2. You have the manpower. Use it. 30 seconds. And that time is ticking away. Invictus have the information. Elevate have no choice. They're at the end of their rope and they have to throw everything that they have got at IG. 15 seconds now. And Nerix has to move. He has to get this diffuser planted. Joe sees him. Can he land the deadly shots? Not yet. And Elevate pushes on forward. 15 rounds will be needed. And this game is never ending.
The Finker comes up clutch. That health boost so critical. Joe was the key player in that round. Hysterics was so low. And Joe needed to go big with the UMP, the worst gun in the game, but he can't make it work. We are going to round 15. If Invictus win this, they book their ticket to Sweden. If Elevate pull off the statistical anomaly, win a defensive round on kitchen, service, and cooking, the Chiefs from down under will unexpectedly just beat both teams over the line. It could not have been any closer. You cannot script stages like this. It's beyond ridiculous at this point, and the stakes are just They've just shot up to Mars. Absolutely. Just, I'm speechless at this point, and we're not even done yet.
Elevate can't finish stage 3 in first place. They can't get the direct invite to Sweden, and they're already locked for playoffs. What they are fighting for now is nothing but seeding into playoffs. But I think it's much more than that. I think that it's their pride, and it is this rivalry. Elevate were one win off of going to the Mexico Major. After stage 1, they were the best in APAC. There was no major to go to. In stage 2, they were one map from it, and Invictus denied them. Into playoffs, Elevate once again in the lower bracket final, were one game off of the Mexico Major, and Invictus denied them. Everywhere Elevate turns, there is one team standing in their way between them and a global event, and it is always Invictus. Time to dash their hopes of making it to the November Major directly, right here, right now.
Elevate with an aggressive defensive lineup. Mute Mozzie combo in play, as well as those fraggers around the map. You wouldn't expect Smoke to get the opening kill, but that will be the case. Luna taken down. Not the worst. Luna can sit back, play drones, make calls for the team, but it is one less gun available inside of the server. I think the key players here for Invictus that need to step up, and the scoreline reflects it. It's Speakeasy and Hysterics. They've been huge throughout the year, Speakeasy in particular as well. 19 and 10. This has been big from him, but his job is not done yet.
And if he doesn't find a multi-kill here, you've got to wonder whether Invictus has got it in them. Elevate 5 on 3 on their defense. The statistical anomaly is going to happen. They're going to do it. Elevate are so close to putting IG in the dirt and sending the Chiefs all the way to Sweden with nothing on the line for them but pride. It looks like they're going to make it work. IG put their hopes on Speakeasy and Jordan. Both have cracked double digits. Speakeasy may well crack 20. And he's gonna need to if IG take #1 in APAC South.
60 seconds left. Speakeasy. There's no way. DCH dropped on a Geary low. Jordan needs to win this fight, and he does. Keep in mind though, Onigiri already was low. Now Nerix and Sapper. The most high pressure situation they have been in. Speakeasy and Jordan. We know how good they are. They're going to have to produce something very special though to get this one over the line.
2v4 to 2v2. IG have the major in their hands if they can clutch, if they can take down these two players. That's the angle that Jordan needed. And he sees them, the bullet trails, it's not enough. 15 seconds on the clock. We're about to find out who is going to Sweden. Speakeasy, he finds one! Can he lock it in? IG to Sweden!
Speakeasy has got to be one of the greatest players in the history of APAC. He puts his team on his back, drops a 20 bomb in the most important match of the stage, hits a 2K to close things out, and Invictus goes straight to Sweden. I can't. What an
It's
ending.
unbelievable.
What an ending for that battle at the top.
A 5v3 for Elevate. And then a 2 versus 4. Thanks to Speakeasy and Jordan. 22 kills and 10 deaths for Speakeasy. That is a scoreline that you never see. That is an individual performance and a 2K to close it that you just never see. And IG locked themselves in as the #1 team in APAC South for Stage 3. In Stage 1, it was Elevate. In Stage 2, it was the Knights. And in Stage 3, it looks like Invictus have their moment. They won't have to play the playoffs. They go straight to the major.
When it was in, I think it was, what, a 2v4? I started to tear up a bit. I was like, getting a bit emotional. I was thinking, oh, Chiefs, they're going to somehow pull this out of nowhere, get it done. We'll see an OS team definitely at the major, but just was not the case. how do you bring that round back, man? Just what a battle between both of these teams. It was a tug of war throughout. We saw both teams fail with their tacticals. They lost the round that followed. It was just such an incredible game of Siege. This is one we're going to remember, I think, for such a long time. Congratulations to Invictus. I really hope they do well again at the major Elevate. They'll be looking to lick their wounds for the playoffs as well, keeping in mind that 6 Invitational is a real implication for them. And again, the Chiefs, they're going to have to make that run as well. But yeah, just what a game.
This rivalry continues. IG have proven time and time again that they will get the better of Elevate. Lunametal will no doubt have all kinds to say. But back to our analysts, back to our lovely hosts. I can't wait to hear what they have to say.
Speakeasy really does make it look easy. We definitely have to put our bias aside here, boys. Congratulations to IG. Obviously, they booked themselves a spot straight to Sweden, and they will do an amazing job representing APAC South. But Raven, what a match first and foremost, regardless of the ramifications regarding the Chiefs. The match itself had everything.
That was one of the most exciting matches of Siege I think I've watched all year. Still shaking pretty heavy. That was just absolutely epic. So back and forth. Love a good attacker-sided cafe, honestly. It makes that map really entertaining. But yeah, look, it's so hard to look past Speakeasy's efforts. He absolutely, like, I have to say, he absolutely carried IG in that game. He went off, and in an absolutely losable position in that last round, he stepped up again.
Rob, globally, Speakeasy's up there with the best, isn't he?
Speakeasy makes us speechless, mate. That's the only way I can put it. This man is absolutely on another level. I mean, how in God's name do you bring that back from a 2 versus 4 when you know if you lose that round, you are done? That is just... man, I can't even speak enough praises about him or IG. I mean, what... honest to God, that is the most exciting game of Siege I have ever watched, period.
It's up there. It's certainly up there. Let's go and have a chat with Lunametal from IG, fresh off of the amazing victory against Elevate. Congratulations, Luna.
Hey, guys.
Your hair is almost as crazy as my hair. It's just that kind of, it's that kind of stage. Yep. Congratulations on going to Sweden, mate. But I have to say, how bloody good is Speakeasy?
You know, in that game, I find myself thinking I didn't do anything. So my biggest contribution for that game was to bring Speakeasy onto the team in the first place. I'm a bit conflicted. Like, I feel really glad that we're going to Sweden, but I just wish my performance was a bit better so they wouldn't be having so close. You know, it was totally a Speakeasy show, and not just him. Like the team's comms and calls were all really good. They barely even needed me. It was 4v5 honestly that game.
Yeah, look, it was an absolute heart-wrenching game just to watch. I can't imagine what it was like to be a part of as you guys were playing. I want to ask, like, you guys burned your time out pretty early in the play, and then Elevate really surged ahead. Was there something that helped you guys as a team kind of lift and get back into the game when it felt like Elevate was starting to run away?
It was really difficult, to be honest, because usually when we try and counteract momentum, right, we do it by making like changes to our setup or some strategic call or some basically just some rotations here and there. But with Elevate, they were so hard to read. You can see that they were pressuring us from everywhere. We really couldn't get a good grip of how to read them. So it was mostly just we didn't even change our setup all that much. We just bunkered down on the basics, like calling angles, making sure we're playing tradable positions and things like that. And yeah, that like those solo pushes, as soon as they got traded, the push, I mean, that was the scary part of the push. It was just like them coming in from 5 different angles, like literally, I think. Like even when the bomb site was second floor, they were pushing both top floor and middle floor simultaneously, and it's like no team does that. And you know, it works out once or twice, but once we were ready for it, it was a bit better. Okay, I say that, but it came down to a 2v4 anyway, so I honestly, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about at this point. I'm just bullshitting you guys.
Look, I'll keep it out of the game related because I know it can be quite intense when you're in the moment. Look, you've denied Elevate twice to a major, and you know, regardless of where the storylines are at, those are the facts. You guys have come from stage 1 where things were just looking so rocky. We had so many question marks about you, to now going to 2 international events in stage 2 and now in stage 3. I just want to ask you, Luna, how is the team feeling? You know, it's been a tumultuous year, but you guys have really fought through this, and you're now, you know, you're now on the receiving ends of all that hard work. How does it feel to be in this team?
It feels really good. Like seeing a roster that's been, I mean, the core of the team, you know, has been different renditions of it, but it's the spirit has been the same. I think our culture and the way the team is run has been the same for the past few years, and to be at this level right now, it's not where we want to be. We still want to aim a little bit higher. But yeah, it's just good to know that the values we bring into the team and how we handle ourselves is working out. That being said, I feel like we have more to show, especially if you look at our past games. Right, every game has been on Cafe that we lost, and like just imagine what we could do if we could get this map to a strong level. And I honestly see us like going leaps and bounds even further beyond this.
Luna, an amazing stage capped off with a big win in one of the best games of Siege we've seen in a long time. We'll give you the floor here. Final shout-outs.
You know, as usual, thanks for the fans, and to anyone who will be watching this. I know it's not live, right? But to anyone who'll be watching this in the future, you know, it's a trying time. We've lost someone really important in the community, and it hit me hard. I'm sure it hit everyone quite hard. So if you do need to talk, you know, my DMs are open. They're always open. I might not reply the quickest, but I'll definitely reply. And yeah, thanks to everyone for supporting us. You know, to elevate. I think I've said this in the past before as well. It's a bittersweet rivalry. I know we denied you guys. Actually, it was 3 times that we've denied them so far. But Fnatic denied us like 5 times, I think. So I know how they feel. But yeah, thank you guys as well for a nice stage. You know, thanks for always being so gracious when speaking to me, and hope you guys have a good one.
We wish you the best of luck over in Sweden, Luna, and you guys as a team just keep coming on stronger, leaps and bounds. We know you're going to do an amazing job representing the region.
Thank you. Thanks, Enox.
What a humble man, and what a great team led by Speakeasy in the game, but overall they are a team at the end of the day. Raven, it's hard to sort of go back into the match after what was an amazing interview. It's why we love having Luna on, but to sort of just dissect things one more time around, Invictus, of course, take that top spot off the back of that win, and really sets in tone the chance that the Chiefs did have in their earlier loss against Order, and chances throughout the stage for the likes of Elevate. It really just comes down to those 1-2 points. We say it all stage long.
Yeah. Yeah, look, we say it all the way from Playday 1, and I know it's always an emphasis early in the stage. Every point matters, even an overtime win that could have been a regulation win, it can come back to bite you. And yeah, teams always are on the tail end of that when it comes to the end of the stage. So look, it's unfortunate that that's happened, but as we've said, you know, IG are such great reps for APAC South every time they go overseas, and I'm sure they're going to feel even more confident getting this direct invite. They've had a really good stage, honestly. Like, it came down to the wire, but this has certainly felt like their best stage all year. So I think they can really go into that Sweden major with a lot of confidence.
Rob, do you have any final thoughts that you want to preface before we go to the break?
No, mate, just absolutely speechless after an incredible game.
Awesome. That's what we love to hear from you, mate. The play-by-plays, we stick together. Let's go to a break. When we come back, it will be the final game for Playday 7, Wildcard versus Q Confirm.
Yeah.